The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. 'Cause sometimes you just feel mediocre. The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. I am mediocre, you are mediocre, and that's not that bad.
All right, welcome to the Mediocre Dentist Season 1 finale. This is real. We've gone through a whole season making people happy. I'm your host, Dr. David Gallagher. I'm joined by my beautiful co-host,
Dr. Andrea Dernisky.
and today we're joined by Andrea's 3 childhood best friends who came to Las Vegas, are in the studio. We just had a wild weekend together. We learned so much about you guys. This is amazing. First up, to my right, her best friend, maid of honor, Amy. Amy, welcome to the set of Mediocre Dentist. Tell us a little bit about you.
I met her in grade 6.
Okay.
Yeah, grade 6.
Okay, tell us about that.
I think we met at a birthday party at the Newton Wave Pool.
Candace Morris, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was. So we had a mutual friend.
A
and
wave pool, like a
wave
pool
pool.
party.
Yeah.
It was a
That's
pool
what
party.
everyone did.
An
Yeah.
indoor
It was the
pool
place to
party
go.
in the heart of Newton. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Ghetto.
So we met there and we kind of hit it off and and then we started playing ball on the same team and then we became fast friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we lived actually very close to each other, not knowing it.
Yeah.
Because she was going to school in Delta,
Yes.
Okay, and you were going to school in Surrey.
in Surrey. Yeah.
Okay. So you met in 6th grade, and that was it. Fast friends, wave pool. What up? How are you? I love you. Let's go in the wave. We're friends forever.
And I made the move to Dr. F.D. Sinclair.
Yes, in grade 7, yeah.
So that's when we started going to school together. That
So
was
you switched over because of Amy.
because of it. I think it must have been because
don't
of
know
you.
if it was
like it
because of
really
me.
just, but it must have
Well,
been.
you
I
write
don't
down
know.
history.
We're like, we're old.
You're like, what up? Met a girl at
Yeah.
a wave pool. I want to go to school with my mom.
Let's do it every day.
That's how we roll.
That's
in Vancouver.
that's how we do.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
yeah.
You've been the maid of honor, best woman at her wedding.
Best woman.
Best
yeah.
woman. She was
One of them,
She
yeah.
was your maid of honor.
Yeah.
Both your weddings.
Yes.
You know. Both your weddings. Which wedding would you like better? Oh, what? Thank you. Okay, obviously our wedding last year. Photo. Insert picture of Amy at wedding, Sean.
Oh,
There
God.
we go. Yeah, look at them. Look at her throwing it around. Okay. Awesome. Okay, well that's good. Okay, so we got a little bit of a baseline start. All
It's a
right.
baseline,
Now
yeah.
we're gonna move over to Andrea. Obviously, a lot of people knows major controversy. I call my wife Andrea. That represents the time before and after she met me. Before then, she was known as Andrea. Now she was known as Andrea, the queen of the Tri-Cities, the greatest dentist who lives there. Also a blonde bombshell.
Wow.
And
What a lucky guy you are. Oh,
that's what everybody writes in the comments.
I know Svetlana specifically.
Svetlana,
Svetlana, if you're listening,
I'm coming for you.
eat your heart out. Okay, Andrea, who we'll call her from this point on as Buckle.
Yes, that's me.
Andrea Buckle. She's from Ottawa now. Her son's on the track to play NHL for real. And we're going to be a big part of that. Because Baby Gallo doesn't play any sports, but his children topped out at 8th grade sports. But now we have a new,
Live vicariously.
we have a new adopted child that we're taking on. So
Children.
Children. Remember Lincoln too? Don't forget
Don't
about
forget.
him.
well, we're more interested in the athletic one for the start. So we're gonna take Hunter first in the first round. We'll take it. No, there's an age gap. He's playing serious hockey as they do in Ottawa. Tell us a little bit of how you met our Andrea.
I met Andrea. I can't do it.
Really?
I met Andrea. Grade 10.
Grade 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
She moved to my school in grade 10, not for me, but
Grade 9.
Grade 9.
grade 9. Was it grade 9?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
it was. She only did 1 year at PM.
Quick editor's
right.
note.
Sorry.
Canadians say grade 4, grade 5, grade 9. Americans say 9th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yes,
Editor's
that's
note.
right. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know
Freshman,
why.
sophomore, junior, senior.
It's a weird little nuance
Yeah, it
between
is true.
Canadians and Americans.
That is very
we
true,
say
yes.
4th grade,
Grade.
5th grade,
Yeah.
6th grade. That
Yeah.
seems to make a lot of sense.
Freshman, like sophomore. You guys use terms.
say-
Yeah, we don't
typically
use
use.
What grade are you in? 9th grade. What grade are you in? 10th grade. Grade 10 seems like very formal.
Very
Okay.
British.
We are
Yeah.
formal,
We're
yeah.
British. Like our
British.
Okay.
They're not British. They don't
Colonized
see
by
the
the Brits.
previous
Yeah, we're-
picture of the map. We're nowhere near the United Kingdom
No.
or England or Scotland.
We do have the Governor General of Canada, which means that we are under the monarchy though in the Commonwealth. So like in major ways, they still have to sign off on like a lot of our changes in the political system.
Really?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
a ceremonial way, but in a very large way.
I
So
feel like you
we're-
keep shifting the conversation towards political.
Should I just let you say things that aren't true?
Yeah.
I will. Every time you say something I contest with, I'll just be like,
Can we? Is it too late to change the light box to Canada versus America as this episode? Can we just change that? Is that too late to do? All
No.
right, Gab. Hold
Sorry,
your
sorry.
Canadian
It's not
political
your
opinions.
turn yet.
Yeah,
It's so
hold your
hard.
political opinions.
It's
This
so
is a
hard.
Trump set.
So
What?
hard.
What? Who now? How did that happen? Let's go.
Oh.
You met her in
Yes,
grade
in
9,
grade 9.
otherwise known as 9th grade. I'm just
Yes.
translating for our audience.
Yes. We had some classes together, but
Okay.
she dated my brother,
Whoa.
who's 2 years
Whoa.
older.
Bombshell. Hold it there. Hold it there. Flashing news. She was dating your brother.
She sure
For a
was.
hot minute.
Hold on,
A
but this,
hot? Did you just use the hot with another person, man?
it was a very short relationship.
Short
but,
period of time.
But this is
Hot.
how we became so close.
I need a
because
moment. I need a moment. Hot, 9th grade, hot. After all this, I provided. Look at this fucking set.
Hey, have you seen the
he was
pictures of her?
older.
She
He
was
wasn't in
hot.
grade 9.
He's
What
2
grade
years
is he in?
older.
Do we have a
2
picture?
years
Do we have a
older.
picture of your brother and Andrea?
Oh, I can find one. I don't
Okay,
know.
we're
I
gonna
don't
put
know
that
that
in.
we
here.
I don't
even
think
have
you
a
have
picture
no
together.
because it was a very short relationship. But
Define short.
maybe a week,
Week.
2 weeks.
No, it was
Oh.
a bit
No,
longer.
Week?
maybe
I can
maybe
deal
a couple
with that.
months.
We
Maybe a
could
couple
do-
months. But she would come over to my house to hang out with my brother.
For that 1 week?
No, maybe a couple months. But she would just hang out with me. And so finally my brother's like, I don't want to date you anymore. All you do is hang out with my sister. So,
Interesting.
And then
That's
we
a
became
that's a
That's
good
where-
origin story. Let's
That's a
break
good
that down.
origin.
I want to go into that a little bit.
yeah.
How old is your brother? What's his name?
Matt Buckle.
Matt Buckle.
He lives in Shreveport.
Shreveport,
He
where the
lives in
beaches
Louisiana.
are.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
And he's 2 years older than us.
So how did you meet Matt?
Majority of my friends wanted to date my brother. growing
He
Yeah,
had
me.
piercing
up.
blue
Or his
eyes.
friends.
Okay, but where did you meet him?
At school. He went to our school.
In 9th grade.
He was in
you were
11th
You were in
grade.
grade 9. He was in grade 11.
Yes.
Oh,
You're
look at
like,
you. I said 11th grade. He said grade 11.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
cute.
See,
Okay.
we're
Look, us, we're
already
changing
bridging
roles.
Canadian and American gaps
Compromise.
here. Maybe you should sit next to me instead of
like it.
Gabby
I
here
should've.
because she's not into this bridging gaps thing. Okay, wait. I need to know more about this. Okay, how you show up at this new school, 9th grade. Amy's on your side. You guys were in the same high school.
In grade 8 we were. I did not.
We did
She
not
attended a
I
different
moved. I've moved. My mom
Yes,
and
you
Ty
moved into,
moved
like,
into that condo.
Yes,
And I was
yeah.
now in the Tamanoas catchment, and it
Brand new
was like a
school.
brand new
Brand new.
school,
It
and
was,
So you started high school, no Amy.
With
No,
Amy.
with me.
Oh,
Because
Grade
grade
eight.
8 to 12. We do high school. Grade 8
oh,
to
okay.
12.
For Canadians, they do high school grade 8 to 12. Americans do it from 9 to 12.
yes,
Yeah.
and
So
there
our
are some
elementary
that
is
have
1
switched
to
to
8.
that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the end of junior high school graduation, and then we go
Yes.
9 to 12.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
K to 7.
So up till
So
you
he's
go
in
into
our
K to
school.
7,
8 to 12.
and you guys were just together for a year then.
2 years.
2
'cause
years, grade 7
elementary.
and grade 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she came to me.
Oh, so grade
That's how I
9
met
is
Amy, too.
high school.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so that's the same as us.
But
Grade eight
grade
is
8
high
is
school.
also
No, no,
high
no, no,
school.
no.
You said you
You're
were.
making this more complicated
Yeah,
than it
we
needs
need
to be.
a Venn diagram for this.
Okay.
Let's start
so,
again.
No.
Join Amy in
and
grade
I
7.
were in grade 7 together.
What happened grade 8? High school or no high
Grade
school?
8.
High school.
That's considered high school.
Okay, so that's high school.
But not
Yeah.
the same high school.
But not the
as I
same
went to
high
my
school.
She went to
Princess
2 high
Margaret,
schools.
if you'd like to bring that up. I mean, I went to that was what's that, inner city?
Inner city school, yeah.
It's pretty, I think we
Low
were.
SES, like
Yeah.
everybody was either like a lot of people were immigrant families or in public housing, yeah.
It was
Yes,
pretty,
actually.
pretty rough and tumble.
Really?
Yeah, I've told you I grew up in the ghetto, and you've never
I know.
believed it.
And
But
Sean and I hit the
Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
bullshit vibe because when people talk about ghetto, for my 4 white guests here, when people talk about ghetto, they talk about like inner city Detroit, inner South Side Chicago. They talk about the Bronx in New York. Very
Okay.
few people go, hey, you hear about that ghetto? And they're like, what? Are you talking about that little city east of Vancouver?
anybody who knows
Nope.
Surrey and knows Newton and knows specifically where we were knows that and QE, I think, were the most.
It's in the news, people.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
And
there's-
he
Sean, let's
didn't-
put up
we're
the
not
murder.
like it's not an
let's put up the
exciting
murder
thing to see.
statistics
No.
for Surrey
Put up-
versus Chicago.
Yeah.
Detroit,
Yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
to see that.
San Fran, and New
Seattle,
York City.
Seattle, so we have a
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah.
Seattle.
West Coast.
Very few people don't hear Seattle and go, "Whoa, it's a ghetto. Be careful." Not knocking. Oh,
No,
I feel
what
like
are
I'm
we
making fun
judging?
of Surrey. We're hitting a chord here.
It's okay.
No.
Okay.
One thing
All right.
that I will say, oh no, I won't even say it. I'll stop.
Okay. So you did your first year of high school in one school, and then you switched the second year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
that's
moved
hard.
catchments. It happens.
That's tough. Okay, so you're in this new school, no Amy, and you're like,
We still play baseball
Yes.
together.
okay,
And the
Yeah.
schools are maybe 5
Like,
blocks from each
They're
other.
literally
They're very
Very
so
close.
not a big deal.
Yes.
Okay, but you're like, I need me a boyfriend.
Yeah.
You see this grade 11 walking by, and you're like, what's up? I'm Dernisky.
I really don't remember how it went down, and I
Might have been
really,
the other
in
way
my
around.
head, I thought that I knew you first.
We
and
knew
I
each other,
knew
but-
of her,
Yeah, we met.
and Matt was just a thing to do.
What? What the fuck?
I'm not
Did
sure
you-
about that choice of
No,
words.
I didn't. Well, I didn't
What, you're
mean
bored?
to.
I'm
Actually,
sorry, is grade 9 not challenging enough? You
I
need
No,
something
not
to
for
do?
her.
Not for her.
Not for her.
Cut the bare naked ladies. This is me, great time, baby. Another great Canadian band.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you hook up with this guy, Matt, and you go to his house, and you're just not interested in him because your
I
real
was-
love of your life is just still 2 decades away.
oh, sorry. 2 decades? 3.
2-ish.
2-ish. Okay. 2 and change.
Okay, so this blonde shell comes over to the house to
Yes.
spend time with your brother,
Yeah.
but instead you're like,
Instead.
let's go into my room and play.
Yes, basically.
More or less.
Not quite like that. Not how you're thinking.
Or,
Okay,
right?
well, that's a good origin story. Here we are, 30 years later,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we're
still going
still we're
strong.
still
Still
we're
going
still
strong.
besties.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, what does Matt have to say about the situation?
I don't know. He's actually welcoming you guys to come and visit him
In
when you're in
Shreveport.
Shreveport.
Yeah, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious. We're not going to ex's houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of our vows. I love you through sickness and in health, and I will not go to any of your ex houses because I know what prize I have. I don't want to take any chances. Like,
Okay.
The next thing you know, I wake up and I'm like, there's, a toaster in the bath with me. I don't want to take any chances.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that got grim.
Yeah,
All right.
no. Do you want to go to visit my ex's houses?
I actually do. I think that'd be
I would
quite
like to do
interesting.
that
I think
too.
they'd like to come on the road. We'll do a little traveling
Go visit
show.
all my ex's houses. We would need a
All
long
of them.
Show
road
on the
trip.
road.
Oh, yeah?
We need a long road trip for that.
One stop.
One stop for a pee break, and then 50, 60 houses to go to.
All right. Okay. Well, we're
Let's
in.
move on.
Yeah.
Gabby, tell us how you know our blonde bombshell.
I've actually known her the longest,
Okay.
That is true.
Okay.
but not the best. I've always been in competition with these guys for that. For sure. We went to kindergarten together, and I
Yes.
want to say grade 1. Were
Strawberry
you with Mrs.
Hill.
Springer in grade 1?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So, which was the greatest South African
She-
teacher. Oh my God.
I still remember the song. There was like a song that she's
Yes.
ooh yeah, way yeah, komborea, ooh yeah, way yeah, ooh yeah, way. I don't know. I like some of those things. I
I
can't
hope that
remember.
wasn't racist.
That's a
because
great-
You're
No,
gonna
she-
piss
no,
off the
uh-uh.
3 South
She-
African listeners we have.
No,
No.
no, no,
If that
no,
was some
no.
racist song from the 80s about
No,
South Africa,
no.
we
You
are
got
gonna
four.
piss
You
off.
got
She
my
was all
husband.
about-
Shit,
she was-
Sean, we
she was-
gotta let's Google Translate whatever my wife just said because we might have pissed off. 80s was not a good time in South Africa. So this woman escaped. You might
was
have had, that would have
lovely.
been
She
dangerous.
was like
She was-
she wore long flowy dresses. She was one of the people who made me want to be a teacher.
Was she white or black?
She was white South African.
Yeah, that could be dangerous. It was
Everything
80s,
was fine.
80s
It
in
was
South
a, it
Africa
was a
wasn't
beautiful
good.
time, and she
It was incredible. And
Okay.
actually in that classroom are 2 of my other best friends in life. Brad Firmino was in that class and Bruno was in that class.
Oh, okay, so look at you, first grade, still riding high.
I guess I know how to keep a relationship.
Brad to
Just not married.
just
Recently divorced.
Just not married.
It's not married. Oh, we're going there. Okay, well, there are tens of people who watch this show, so maybe one of them.
No bueno, no bueno.
No, wow.
And
Okay,
then we played sports together in grade 8 and
okay.
yes, yeah.
What sports
Lesbian
did you
field
play
hockey.
together?
Field
Lesbian.
hockey.
Lesbian fields.
We really took a hit when Andrea left us for field hockey and basketball. It was kind of.
Oh, I know, I sucked at that. But you reminded me yesterday that we were going to do, what was that, walking
Oh yeah, it is a
things?
good end. I didn't tell David, so this is a good one for you. I
Okay.
remembered this. I don't know if you know, but Amy has a cabinet at home that's just filled with medals. So sometimes it can be hard to be one of her
Highly
closest friends.
competitive.
Super competitive.
Amy is the sports hero
Guru.
among this foursome.
Yeah.
How do I know? Because we played one game of cornhole
Yeah.
in the dark.
Yeah. Drunk.
It's supposed to be a friendly game. You guys are just invited to our house for the weekend. It got ugly, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there was mathematical cheating going on. There was
Big win. Big win.
clear
no
math
cheating.
mistakes made.
Oh,
Yeah, there was
Go in there.
something, but it's weird to like get upset with your guests, so we just lost with grace. But
no.
And in water basketball, you also lost.
Yes.
basketball.
And
Water
in-
basketball.
And in
Oh.
yard basketball
I
too.
took-
I thought
We
it was
played
tied. I thought it
21.
was tied.
No, it
Pretty
was not
sure
tied.
it
You
was
lost?
not.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Okay, so we lost.
Your
Yeah.
wife faked an injury to get out of the game early.
I
So.
did.
My wife is a delicate flower now.
I did hurt
Classic
her.
graphic move.
Very few people get hurt playing cornhole, but my wife got hurt.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that was
no.
basketball.
Water
in the
basketball.
pool.
Water
I
basketball.
think we got hurt at both games.
Okay, I
She
am.
fakes
okay.
injury when we're down.
Oh,
And then I go
it didn't
change the
work.
score when no one's looking. That's how we do.
Teamwork.
We're at Tucson.
And work.
We're at Tucson. We'll play anybody cornhole.
Oh, good
Okay,
Lord.
I'm sorry, what were we
And
saying?
lose.
We were
Yeah.
on field hockey, lesbian field hockey, I think you
Yes,
called it.
that's right.
Cool, that was
Oh.
your move,
I think
not
that's
mine.
how it's known in Canada, anyways. That's
It's
how
known as
known.
lesbian field hockey.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
Known as
We'll
lesbian.
just
Chicks
piss
with
off
sticks.
20% of
Chicks
our
with
audience.
sticks.
Shout out to Beth Stilling if you're out there. She's a fabulous comedian who does a big riff off of field hockey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, she also plays for the U.S. Women's Field Hockey Masters team.
Cool. Not a lot of our audience is following women's field hockey, to be honest. I just want to be.
Fabulous comedian.
I want to say we have very few women field hockey.
Viewers?
People
Do
tuning
you know that?
in.
You don't?
Tuning in. I don't
Maybe
think
you
like,
will now.
I don't think-
Exactly,
I don't think
we're
known as,
broadening
like, a
our
field
horizon.
hockey,
Check it out, guys.
Okay.
This was about speed
So
walking.
Amy was really hard to be around if you had any like hope in your life about being, winning anything. So Andrea and I found out that from Mrs. Martin, our PE teacher, that we could join speed walking because there were only 2 other people in British Columbia, all of British Columbia, which is like the size of California, right?
Yeah.
Or even bigger.
I don't think so.
Land-wise. it
Land-wise,
is.
it is.
Yeah.
I think
But
Not
like
population.
lengthwise.
Width-wise.
Or
Why
population.
is it? Size
Land-wise.
matters.
Okay. Isn't that cute? The Canadians
We
are
got that
so
right,
the
dude.
British Columbia. Okay, keep going.
And anyways, heard that top 6 people were going to the provincials.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, we're doing it.
And now a word from this episode's sponsor. I know we swore we would not have sponsors, but the money was too good and we sold out.
This episode is sponsored by Sunbit. Is the sun shining over there over in you?
I come from a rainforest, British Columbia, so not quite used to it.
Can I give you some sunny information?
Hit me with it.
Back in the day, people used to use a different third-party financier. They're still around, but they're not hot. They reject most of the people.
Yes.
Sunbit is a company that will lend your patient the money to get the treatment that they need in record time. I have seen this in action. The guy takes an iPad, he scans in someone's driver's license, $6,000.
Done.
Patient has $6,000 in your account the next
Beautiful.
day.
That's incredible.
Sunbit financing helps more patients get the financing money that they need for the procedures, for the implants, for the veneers, for the Invisalign that they need right away. They're really helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Get rid of the major obstacle.
How do they figure out whether they should lend to you or not? Just from a picture of your driver's license. This thing's instantaneous. How does that work?
It doesn't matter. It does.
It does. I don't know. They lend to anybody over a FICO score of 500.
I don't even know what that means.
If you have a FICO score of less than 500, you have a serious heroin problem.
Okay.
It's a very low FICO score. And they lend to people. People get... You can check them out on the AACA website, the Mediocre Dentist website, or wherever you get your websites. What? Or on this website right here.
Are we sold out? Well, we sold out.
Okay,
Can
tell
we
us what
count
provincials
those?
are. Just pretend like we don't know what provincials are.
It
Just,
would be like
Like
state
states.
championships.
okay, so provincial... Sean, we should have a running Canada-America language. Provincial equals state.
Yeah.
Provincial state, like you would go to the state championships for football or basketball, you can go to the provincials. The difference in states and provincials from California is you're beating out another 60 million people. And in British Columbia, you're beating out like another 50, 50
yeah.
Well,
or
we
50,
do it
60
based on
people.
tiers, so you go based on like your population of your school. So
Yeah.
you're like A, AA, AAA is based
Yeah.
on your whatever your population is. So there's 3 different tiers.
Okay.
I guess.
So now you're into speed
Guess we're still
walking.
doing our
Are you a
best.
AAA speed walker?
So you
I don't
joined
know.
speed
We-
walking?
there
I didn't
was-
know that.
We only
We
tried it a
had
couple times. We couldn't
aspirations.
we couldn't. It
It's
was
really,
too much.
It's harder than you think. You have to lock your knees.
It's
It's
really
hard,
hard
yeah.
on the hips, and it looks wrong.
And it's
I
not.
bet you could do it pretty good though.
Yeah, she'd kick her ass.
I do bring it up every time I speak.
I've seen her do it.
I'm like, I could have been a champion.
Okay, well, this is important because a very, very big part of the making of our Andrea Dernisky is her sports years. If
Yes.
people remember from episode 4, one of our most viral clips about leadership was Andrea telling us how good of a leader she is because of the sports that she played, which then prompted me to say she is a terrible leader. Most people in the office call her the
Ouch.
dragon.
What's
She
love?
does not get
Like-
along well with others. She is not a good leader. She does yell at employees quite frequently
Oh
and
my
vehemently.
God.
We're just gonna say what it is. Okay?
I know,
But let's
this
go
is
back
bullshit.
to the
Okay.
sports years
Okay.
to find out
And
what.
competitive, yes.
Let's
okay.
find out what went wrong. So let's go through all the sports years. So speed walking. How
That
long
was
did that last
early
for?
exit.
It lasted less than a week. We didn't go to provincials. We dropped our chance.
Okay, but so what was the first sport that you played? Oh, here we go.
This
Here
guy.
we
Oh
go.
my
Here
God,
we
look
go.
how cute
Amy,
you
walk
are.
us. Sean, let's
Aww.
That was the Delta
let's-
Heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we played competitive. We played rep A fast pitch.
Fast pitch. Softball or softball?
Fast pitch is softball,
Hardball?
but it's like
No, softball.
No. Like windmill.
Canadian.
Do we say it differently than you guys as well?
No.
Yeah,
No,
hardball is
fast
a
pitch.
little is
I
one of the
understand.
things
Like
we did.
overhand.
The
That's
softball
overhand.
is like
And
the
then
windmill.
windmill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're windmill. It's known as fast pitch, especially when you're playing it competitively.
Okay, so this is softball for women in the little known British Columbia. And you're playing. You're cute. You're cute as a button.
So
Thank
I
you.
Would, I would give you a home run to hit. Look at that. She's cute as a button, ladies and gentlemen. What grade are we in here, Amy?
That was before I knew her, but that would have been the first year
Like
probably she could play rap. So that was
5 or
probably
6?
like
Grade
10.
5 or 6?
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
5 or 6.
See, here's an inconsistent part of the story because we talk about your competitive dance and ballet years,
Yes.
but how did that translate to
I was
sports?
doing both. So I grew up with ballet. I did
Yeah.
it since I was 2. I was never as good as everyone around me, but I stuck with it, and it was a big part of my life. Great discipline. There was a lot of great things that did come out of it, but it was never really my passion. Once I started playing sports, and then once I started being around Amy, that was the path that I was on, and I gave up dancing at around 12.
So grade
Yeah,
six. So
right
in that
around
grade,
18,
yeah.
and
in
then I
that grade
just
6
went
year, you met Amy, and your mom, you're like,
double
no
down.
more ballet, no more of these
Yeah.
little bitchy dances. I want to play
Yeah.
softball.
Which I think probably broke Deb's heart.
Broke her heart, but you know what? The baseball years were amazing.
Yes.
We grew up with a team of
Yeah.
girls. We went through every aspect of life together. I didn't have siblings. Amy was like a sister to me, and our teammate. I mean, we really did life with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Our parents all got along. We were on road trips. It was like during my formative years. It was incredible.
We did, yes. Yeah.
So that starts, but this picture is before grade 6.
Yes.
So you had a little bit of softball in you.
Yeah, I was playing it since I was young. Like I
She
played
did both.
1 year of hardball as a little
Okay.
girl. I was the only girl on the team, kind of like Evie.
Yeah.
And then I made this switch. Candace, who introduced us,
Yes.
her uncle was a coach. He was super competitive, so I went straight into playing it pretty hardcore. And I was decent enough with it.
She was very good.
And
And when did you leave the dance, ballet?
so I'd say about 12,
Yeah, I
maybe
think
13,
Grade
but I was
7, yeah.
fading out
Yeah.
You were thinking?
at 12, for sure.
For the record, our young daughter, Aria, is an incredible dancer and
She
ballet, and
is
she is just
exceptional.
coming into her own now.
Yes.
So where you stopped at 11, 12, she's kicking ass.
Yes, absolutely.
Leaving prisoners.
And I love it. I
She's
love getting
amazing.
to.
So
to
we're
see it in
excited for her. The boys play basketball, but she's a little dancing nut.
Dancer.
So where you left, she coming in.
Yes.
Very, very poetic. I like
I
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
so we're getting into softball.
Okay.
That was you and Andrea starting out 7th grade. You're like, hey, join my team. You'd be
Yeah.
good.
So we played for a team called the Surrey Storm.
Surrey Storm.
Yeah,
That's
and-
that ghetto we were talking about. Did you guys have like supplies? Because Sean, back me up, most ghetto teams don't even have like anything. That's why most ghetto sports are basketball.
Okay, we were not a ghetto
Let's
team.
identify. Yeah. Oh, what? Surrey
No.
not a ghetto team. Because I'm pretty sure every
Oh,
ghetto
wait,
city
wait.
plays one sport. Sean, what sport do you think ghetto kids play? Basketball. Why? Because it requires one
Soccer.
$15
Soccer.
item,
Soccer.
one basketball, and they play it
Bare feet.
at bare feet on it. when women, young ladies, play softball with gear and you had uniforms?
Yes.
Matching little cute uniforms?
Yes.
Size with you, everyone got their own little number?
Yeah.
By definition, you don't live in
Alright.
ghetto. Okay?
We come
By
from privilege.
definition, if your parents can afford a uniform,
Okay.
Yes, and it was not cheap. So we
Yes.
were definitely not.
privileged white children
Yes, we're very
in a
privileged.
suburb of Vancouver.
There we go.
Okay.
Hard
Thank
no
you.
from Gabriella.
Okay, well, I'm glad we've solved that controversy. All right, now to your overprivileged white softball team.
Yes.
Talk to me about your team. Okay, so you joined in 7th grade. Was there a coach? Did the coach wear a uniform?
No, 'cause that's different than baseball.
Okay.
So in baseball, historically, you're supposed to the manager used to also be a player, so that's why they wore uniforms. But in softball, you didn't.
You wear
have
like
to.
one of those.
Yeah, they
You wear like a
Nice,
sweater or
crinkly
something,
jacket.
but like
polo
Yeah.
shirts.
So the
last
softball.
last year I
Who was
coached
the- who was
hardball
the coach
and I had
in
to wear
grade
white
seven?
ball
Yes, I
pants.
remember
Yeah.
that. Susan.
Who was the coach in grade
Yeah,
7?
Susan.
White
Shout out to
shirt.
Susan.
Susan.
Yeah.
And was she just let out of prison?
No.
Jesus Lord.
No.
She was an elementary secretary, actually.
Elementary secretary with a side gig as a softball women's coach.
That's right.
Non-parent.
She's
still with it.
And she was a non-parent. That's right. She volunteered her time.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. The name of the team, sorry, I interrupted. Was
Surrey Storm.
Surrey Storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
And so we played for Surrey Storm there was a big group of us. We had
Yes.
like some very close friends because we spent so much time together.
Yeah.
And then
Break
we-
down how many nights a week were we practicing?
we were at ball like at least 6 days a week.
6 days a week of
At
practicing.
least 2 practices, games, and
And 2
then
games.
But the
and always
season ran
tournaments.
from.
Ooh. Our weather was kind of garbage, so I think we started in like.
We started playing in March usually. There was
Yeah.
like an icebreaker tournament, and we would go to July. And if you qualified for nationals, then you would go through August.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it rains in British Columbia from October till about April, every day.
Still
Every day
like
without
it's all in
fail.
it.
Not enough to make you wet, just enough to piss you off.
Yeah.
None of us own
Which is
umbrellas.
why
No,
living
I know,
here,
it's fine.
it rains every single day. It's ridiculous. So
It is a
obviously,
lot.
It's a little
It's
watering.
so
March,
beautiful.
you're probably
Twice
a lot
a
of mud.
Exactly.
We played inside too.
Inside.
Yeah. A
Wow.
lot of training inside.
Sean, how many ghetto cities do you know that have an inside baseball field stadium? Not many, right? It's not a thing you hear very often.
Sean,
Yeah.
is Surrey the
Yeah,
second
interesting.
biggest
Okay,
city
I'm sorry, we
in the
digress.
country, or the first biggest population-wise? Can we check that out?
What's that?
Surrey, biggest city?
What population-wise, if we're number 1 or number 2 in all of the Lower Mainland? Because
Vancouver's
Surrey's
not a win.
huge.
Yeah, it is. It
Surrey's
really is.
massive.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's got lots of different
Cute.
areas.
We have lots of different suburbs.
Yes.
Lots of different suburbs.
Of
Some of Surrey is
Vancouver.
on the
Surrey.
beach.
Of Surrey.
Some of
Surrey has
Surrey is on the
suburbs.
ocean,
Yes.
ocean front,
Yes,
and
yeah.
some of Surrey is
South
having
Surrey.
Yeah, South
really
Surrey.
hard times with the opioid crisis. Like there's
What
like
is with the political?
I know.
I can't
This is
take
not
the
a
two.
podcast. We're not in line
Sorry,
for like
I
60
can't-
minutes here.
I can't see the difference
We're at a
between the two
mediocre
though.
dentist, okay? There's no opioid crisis, okay?
But there are stark differences.
Unless
between
Andrea
Surrey.
has an opioid problem, this should not be relevant to our
Not
story.
yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
I feel like we should rent this studio out to Gabby for a podcast about Canadian American politics.
I would love
I
to
just
do that.
Surrey is a
Sean,
very,
what would it
very
take to
place.
change this
It-
behind us, and then we have Gabby talk to us about the opioid crisis in Vancouver? Easy. Okay, cool. We have an agent. Back to our story.
Okay, where are we
So
at?
we are in softball. You're playing March to July. She's new on the team. You've been playing a while.
No, we had a team come together. So like
Okay.
Andrea
Delta
played for
Heat.
Delta Heat. There was a couple girls that came from
Yes.
Heat. So then we were on Storm, and then actually that whole team, well, not the whole team because we amalgamated 2 teams. We ended up going to the White Rock Renegades.
The White Rocker. That's the one
Yes.
I've heard of.
Yes.
That's the one we talked about. The White. That was the big team. You joined it in grade 8,
No, grade 10.
grade 10,
Was it that late?
I think we
Wow.
went
Yeah,
over in
okay.
grade 10.
and that was the real deal. That's the one you guys played till the end,
Yeah.
Yes.
till college.
Playing in the Canada Cup, like we
Yeah.
had a great amount of opportunities through that organization.
Okay, so tell us about this. This is obviously the pinnacle of your sporting career. I've heard this many times in conversation. Talk to us about that Canada Cup. Tell our audiences what the Canada Cup is. Not you, Gabby, with your political slant. Okay? Everyone else, tell us what the Canada Cup is for lesbian women's softball. What does that mean? What do you represent?
Can you show the photo?
Do you have to wear a rainbow uniform?
Oh, this?
No,
It's a
you
good
did
one for
not.
this. It's a
The
good
Okay.
for the lesbian hair.
Okay, so part of the Canada Cup to play on this team, you have to get a haircut that looks like this on it. Now, truth be told, we were outside yesterday here at our pool sporting area, and Amy here threw a football underhand windmill. I'm talking, it zipped by me on a perfect spiral. We were throwing a ball around, and I was like, throw it faster. And Amy here threw it so hard that I almost broke this finger, okay? So this New York little Jew cannot hang with these Surrey women, okay? Because they can throw a ball. But tell us about the Canada Cup, obviously a pinnacle point of your careers.
Yeah, it's an international competition, so usually it was the best. And we watched.
Yeah.
We got to
We
be
were
a part of it.
girls. We grew up with.
Yeah, it's
these
just a
things.
huge tournament, so the best players in the world. So Team USA always had 1 or 2 teams because they're so dominant in softball.
Dot Richardson.
Oh.
That was.
So this
my
is like,
info.
yeah, it was total, like, so Dot Richardson played for Team USA, and she
Right.
was also a doctor.
Wow, all right, Sean, put up some bio on Dot Richardson for our audience here. Okay, yeah, look at her. She looked like I'd say she looked like a softball player.
Yeah,
And she's also a doctor.
a doctor,
And
which
this
was
had
very
made an impact.
inspiring. Yes,
Yeah.
very
I
inspiring for
think this
Andrea
is a
because
key
she's
part of
like,
the story.
okay, so I can, and I mean, she's always been brilliant, but she thought, okay, so I can be smart and I can still play softball and do all of these things. I can do it all. And so we were at Softball City, and we were just about to head down to Seattle for a tournament.
Okay.
So we traveled a lot to the States. We played a lot of the teams in Washington. And Dot Richardson had just come out with a brand new bat. And so I can't remember
That white
either.
bat, I can
It was
still see
brand
it.
new, and she was playing. She had just finished playing. We watched the game. We were about to leave, and then we're leaving, and Andrea's she's a bit of a stalker sometimes.
Oh.
Huh?
Andrea,
That's-
our Andrea,
Yeah.
our Andrea's stalker.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, she was
really
like,
bad.
so she like hyper focused on Dot Richardson. So she's like, can we just follow her around? And I'm like, we gotta go. Like we have a game, we have a tournament. So we followed her.
Followed a
stopped.
grown woman
Yeah.
softball doctor
I was committed.
as teenagers.
She was.
I was really committed to meeting her. She was I read her book.
Yes.
I like wanted to
What's
be
the name of the
her.
book?
It was her autobiography, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I can see the book in my head.
How old
but
was she about at this time?
She was a full-grown woman. She was in her 30s, maybe.
Well, I
or
don't.
late
Yeah,
20s?
late
I
20s,
don't
early
know.
30s. So she's
Yeah.
probably
She
got.
was already a doctor, and she still played competitive softball.
Yes.
Oh, she
Oh,
was
she's
unreal.
incredible.
Yeah.
What
Because
position did you play?
I want to say second base, but I'm
Something
not
like
sure.
that.
Middle
Yeah,
infielder.
it wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily the position that I played. It was
And
more
to
what she
the
represented.
little girls of British Columbia, she's like your Michael Jordan.
She was for her, especially
Absolutely.
because she was
That
she
combo.
was playing like for the best team in the world at the time,
Okay.
and she was also a doctor, and so for her that was like.
This is a
Yeah.
build
Yeah.
part of your life. I love this.
So okay, so we stalked
Okay,
her.
stalking her.
We're
So
stalking her
walk
in
me through
Softball
how
City.
two very white young little girls. Do we have any pictures of you
Okay,
guys
I'm
at
not
this
stalking
age?
her.
Give me a picture of you and Andrea at
Oh,
about
here's,
this age.
here's one.
Okay, Sean,
That's maybe
these
normal.
two girls are trailing a doctor
Yes.
who's also a professional softball
Yeah.
player leaving for America.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can't drive yet, so we're just hiding in bushes?
No,
How's this
no,
going
we're in
down?
Softball
No,
City.
we're walking around Softball City and following her, and then finally she goes up to her and basically tells her how much she likes her, that she's an inspiration, and she also wants to go, like, you know, we already knew that she was going to do amazing things. And so she talked to her and started talking about her brand new bat, and then Dot Richardson gave her the bat.
And I
You
proceeded
said,
to
hey
sleep with
Dot.
that.
You said, hey Dot, I love you. How you doing?
Yeah.
You have a bat. It's amazing. And she's like,
And she's like, why don't you take a couple swings with it? I
Yes.
remember she let me
she
swing
just
it.
had a bat on her.
Yes. And it was her bat.
Her
Like
Her
her,
bat.
it was
Like
the
her
Dot
name
It
brand.
says
Richardson
dot
bat.
on
Yeah.
it, and she actually used it.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
manufactures her own bat.
Yes.
And then she
Company.
has her personal of the ones that she manufactures.
Yeah,
Yes.
she
And then she
just
gave
used
that
it.
to you.
She just used it in
Yes.
the game.
What?
Yeah, so she lets her swing it, and then she gives it to her.
And what did you get?
I was her moral support. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a
my
stalker,
safety
but I was
witness.
definitely like,
Jealous?
yeah.
No.
No, I was so happy. Except, so then we get in the car and we're on this road trip, And it's
Wait,
at
wait,
night.
slow down.
Okay.
The woman comes over, she goes, hello, 14-year-old little girl. You're like, I love you, you're a doctor, you're
Yeah.
amazing. You're beautiful, I'm beautiful. And she's like, well, take my bat.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave you the bat. Did she sign the bat?
I forget if she
No.
signed it. I don't think that
She just handed it, and then you just walk away with a bat from an older woman.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little weird nowadays. That wouldn't go down today.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
sure.
NHLers give hockey sticks to kids.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
yeah.
the
Yeah.
same thing.
Oh, I guess, yeah, it's similar to a hockey player getting a
Yeah.
hockey
Yeah.
stick. Okay, but you just accosted her.
No,
She has security.
Respectfully.
she did not have security, thank God, because maybe.
Where are your
They would have
parents
noticed you
where
were
are your
stalking
parents
her.
during this
Okay,
time?
so my mom was driving us because when
were
we
en
road
route.
tripped, and so she was waiting for us, and it was time to go.
Yeah.
But Andrea's like, I really got to talk to her, and so we ended up leaving late at night, and we drove down to Seattle. That night, we didn't play till Saturday morning. So then we go into, so she would not let go of this bat, like wouldn't. I don't even think she let me touch it, if I'm being honest. She just, it was like. She would not let it
That
go.
was a proud moment for you. This is
Very
a
proud, yeah.
key, fundamental
Yeah.
building block. Like, when we saw that movie, we love that movie with the little girl, with the people in her brain. The Disney movie with people in her brain.
Oh.
Pixar, help me out.
Oh,
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Well done.
Great movie.
Inside Out, remember that she collects those memories that are
Yes.
part of her
Oh.
life.
Core
This is
memories.
a core, excellent, core
Yes.
memory of your life, okay? And
Yes.
it possibly shaped your decision to become a dentist, or
I-
doctor,
Yeah, at that point, I very much wanted that. And
Yes.
and become a professional
she made me believe that I could.
softball player.
That it was
Yeah.
even possible.
Not all
Yeah.
dreams
For
work
a
out.
little girl from Surrey.
Little girl, sorry, go in one shoe. Indoor practice facility. Okay.
Okay, so then we go down, we're driving, we go down, and Andrew refuses to let this back go. Like, refuses, like, has to hold on. So we go to a gas station, we're getting gas, and we go in to get some snacks.
Yeah.
And it's, I want to say it's probably 10-ish at night. She gets out of the car with the bat, and my mom and Auntie Penny was also there, didn't see her get out with the bat. And she goes into the store with a baseball bat.
That's what's up. Give me some beer, bitch.
As you can see, that didn't probably go over well, and she was like, well, I can't leave the bat. And we're like, but you can't take a bat into a store that doesn't look. Anyways, she proceeded to sleep with this bat. It did not leave her sight.
No,
It
I
was
didn't
like-
let anybody use
It was
it.
like oh yeah.
Did you play with it?
I did.
I don't think at that time, I think it was a bit too big.
big.
Yeah.
It
Right.
was big, but I did, yeah, and I didn't let anybody touch it.
No, yeah.
Where is this bat today?
Very territorial. but-
It's no longer, I feel like at some point I might have even given it to you.
No.
To use with, or, I don't know.
Oh,
No.
Amy said
it
no.
just got
I
hot
did
here
not
on the
get
sex
that.
of Mediocre Dentist.
No, she just, you were coaching. I know that I'd given a,
Yeah.
like a first base, like a tracker.
Yes, I still have that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's a fun memory. Well done.
Oh,
That's
thank
really
you.
good. All right, Buckle, where were you during these softball years?
I tried out, but I didn't make it.
Oh, you didn't make the team.
I made the one right under.
Did they stop being friends with you because they were snobbish a little bit?
Not.
No, they stayed with you.
Yes.
Every group likes one non-softball friend
Yeah.
to keep them cool. and
No,
balanced.
I'm the non-softball friend.
Oh.
She still plays softball.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so Gabby, let's go through. Obviously, Andrea's changing schools every year or two.
The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. 'Cause sometimes you just feel mediocre. The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. I am mediocre, you are mediocre, and that's not that bad.